In this TimeSync review, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the software TimeSync. If you have any questions, please be sure to comment them down below, and I'll also be sure to leave a discounted link down there so you can always get your money's worth for TimeSync. TimeSync helps you book more appointments with the automated email, WhatsApp, and text reminders. So this is what you should see once you're first signing up to the software. It greets you with a little page like this, where it says you can connect your calendar and other stuff like that. So for the beginners, I'm going to quickly go through this introduction page for the software, and then get onto the main areas later on in the review. So for the beginners, you want to go ahead and connect your Google Calendar or Outlook calendar if you want to, once you've first put in your information, but I'm not going to, so I'm going to go ahead and click continue without calendar. Next, it says then set when you're available. You'll be able to customize and change these later. You can go ahead and set this if you want, but I'm just going to click continue and keep going through. And once you have done all of that, it should take you to this main page, which is the Novacall page, where the TimeSync software is actually on, or the area is actually on it as well. So if you want to go to the actual TimeSync area, you can just click on this in the top left hand corner, and then it says right here the TimeSync area, which you can actually go ahead and click on. It says meeting scheduling software, integrated, Zoom, Google Meet, integrated, Stripe, and PayPal. So you can go ahead and click on that, and it should always take you to this page where you have your meetings. There's other areas like team meetings, settings, and rewards if you want to go through them as well. And then down here you have your account and your notifications. So this is the main section of it all, of the TimeSync, where you have your meetings. Again, you can go ahead and add a new meeting here, but it says personally for me, I have reached the limit. So right here is where you'd have your meetings or your active meetings. Then you'd have your scheduled ones to the right, and then any notifications within those meetings all the way to the right of that. Up in the top right hand corner, we have the shareable user page link, where you can actually click on it and change the settings. You have your user page, notifications, and custom domain. You can change your user link, displayed name, and then your description. Pretty much just more stuff to do with your account. So going back onto the TimeSync, we can now go back to this page where we have our URL link right here, or our copy link, and you can go ahead and copy that if you want to. So if you don't have a meeting right now, you'd go ahead and actually click new meeting, but we're going to go ahead and click on this one that's already been made. So it says that you can actually rename it. It's been provided by the software, which is pretty good, and you can rename it. It says how long it is, what it is, whether it's a personal or a team meeting, and then you can connect your calendar like I showed you guys earlier. You can go ahead and connect the Outlook or the Google Calendar. You can also share it and then click any settings like duplicate or even delete it. So we're going to go ahead and click on it to go on to the main features. So once you're on this page, it says your first schedule, rename me, and you can go ahead and rename it if you want to. Right here it says the edit meeting section, integrations, qualifications, installation, and the meeting history. This is where all the details of the meetings can actually be edited, and you can go ahead and edit all the details and availability, notifications, invitee questions, and the payment setup. All the stuff like that, it doesn't really change. So in the meeting details, it says what event is this. In the availability, it says edit your availability here, and then set email confirmations, email reminders, and text reminders. You also have invitee questions. What questions should the invitee answer? And then the payment setup, require payments from invitees. So what we want to jump into first is the meeting details. So once you click on that, it says what event is this, like I said before, and this is where you can go ahead and actually change the main meeting details within your meeting. So you have the meeting name, your first schedule, it says rename me. So we're going to go ahead and just rename it to reviews for the sake of this review. We've now named our meeting reviews. So then next you have the location, where if you click on this little arrow or this main section, it opens up these variety of different options where it says Zoom, Google Meet, Custom, Phone, Ask Invitee, or even Microsoft Teams. Again, this is just other areas where you can actually have the meeting, so it's good to actually have a choice. So let's say we just click Google Meet for the meeting, and then next we are going on to the meeting link. So we have the link right here, and then you can go ahead and just change the end of it. Let's say name it reviews like we did before, and then now it says our link is reviews right at the end, and it says that it is valid. Right here it says is valid. Next we are moving on to the description, where it says it can have a little description, and you can go ahead and edit all of the description right here. So we're going to go ahead and just keep it with book an appointment with me, but you can change that if you want, and then you can also just highlight it, make it bold, italic, and put a line through it and stuff like that. So you can also attach files and then undo anything you don't want to actually do. So that's pretty much it for the description of this section. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can just go through this and pretty much customize your meeting to your liking. Finally, the meeting confirmation email. This is the email that would be shown, and you can go ahead and have your email there. So once you are done with that, you want to go ahead and actually click update, and now your meeting's details should start updating. As you can see here, the one we named it, or the name we gave the meeting, is now reviews. Next, we have the availability, where it says edit your availability here. You can go ahead and click on that, and now it pretty much just sets the availability and time schedule for this meeting. So you have the event duration, whether it's all of these like 60 minutes. We're going to go ahead and just click 30 minutes. And then next you have scheduled days. How many days in the future can people book this meeting? So you can have it in 30 days to 1 day to 365 days, a lot of different options. So let's go ahead and just select 10 days. Next, when can people attend this meeting? So you can actually choose the time zone of your meeting, whether it's in London to India or anything. And you can go ahead and actually select the days that the meeting is available. The time schedule for it opens up these little hour times. And then when it actually finishes. You can also delete that if you want to change any days or times you want to add or delete. Next, the date override. You can go ahead and add a date override if you want to. And then finally, buffer and limits. You can actually add some of these before the meetings or even after meetings. So once you've gone through that again and actually changed it to your liking and how you actually want your meeting to happen, you go ahead and click update. Next, on the notifications section, we're going on to that. This is where you can go ahead and actually set notifications for your meeting. So you have email confirmations. Your invitee will receive an email confirmation. Email reminders, an invitee will receive a reminder email before the scheduled meeting at preferred times, and then text reminders. So on the right hand side here, you can go ahead and customize them, or even select and deselect which ones you want to actually have in your meeting. So you can just deselect them like that if you want, and then if you click customize, you can go ahead and customize how these email confirmations would actually appear in an email. So you can change the email subject, description, and then all of the placeholders if you want to do that as well. It's pretty much the same for the email reminders, and also the text reminders is how you'd actually go ahead and write a text or even a WhatsApp. Finally, you're going to go ahead and click update once you are happy with how you've set that area up. Next, we are moving on to the invitee questions. And once you click on that, this is just an area where the questions should have the invitee to answer. So you can go ahead and add an email, name, phone number, or even add more guests. So you can go ahead and deselect these or select them in any order you want. And you can also add a custom question right here from short text, long text, drop down, consent, checkbox, and radio button. So if we were to click long text, you can go ahead and actually type your question in here, and then the invitee would have to answer that question. So once you've typed in your question, you can go ahead and just click update, and then it should update and then add your question to the meeting setup. And finally, on the payment setup, if you have any payments within your meetings that you need, this is where you would actually have your payment setup. So you want to go ahead and just click connect, and it comes up with loads of different payment setups that you can connect, and you would then go ahead and connect your personal payment setup. You would have to go through that on your own though, because it is private details. Next, all the way back up to the top, we are going on to the integration section now. Once you've clicked on that, this is where it just has the integrations like Google Calendar and Outlook Calendar like we saw before, and you can go ahead and actually integrate it into the software to make it work better for you. So you have your calendars, communications like Zoom, Google Meet and Microsoft Teams, CRMs, HubSpot and Salesforce, analytics, notifications, and payments like Stripe and PayPal. Again, you can connect whichever ones suit you or whichever ones you have, and whatever actually helps you better within the software. All the way back up to the top on the qualifications section, this is where you go ahead and actually add any qualifications. To the right of that, we have the installation, where you can go ahead and actually add your shareable link to anywhere you want, like an embed on your website, or even a TimeSync button. You can go ahead and actually edit any of these, like the width and height of the embed on your website. Edit these in any way you want for how you want to go ahead and share your meeting, and you go ahead and click generate code. And finally, on the meeting history, once you have actually edited your meeting and gone ahead and had the meeting, this is where all of the history of it would come through, like names, emails, date and times, and actions. All of the analytics from your meetings would appear here. And that's pretty much it for the TimeSync software. And there you go, that is it for the TimeSync software review. Overall, I think it's a really great, straight to the point software, and there are a few features that I personally like. Those features that I like is how straightforward it actually is, like I just said, and how easy it is for beginners to actually use. It's just a little section in the area of the software which TimeSync is, and it's really easy to go ahead and actually start making your meetings, editing them, and easy to actually run through. Would I recommend this to anyone? Yes, I absolutely would. I'd recommend this to anyone who's actually looking to have meetings with people, and just the way you can customize meetings is really good for anyone who's looking for a software like this. Would I use it myself? Yes, I would. I would use a software like this myself, again, if I'm looking to actually customize my meetings and share them more easily. This is probably one of the best softwares out there for that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.